We're on our way into Mason, New Hampshire this morning because there is a restaurant that you have to travel over the river and through the woods to get to. It's called Pickity Place.
This is one of those places where fairy tales, well, they do come true. Located in the foothills of southern New Hampshire, Pickity Place is inspired by nature itself. Miles away from stress, a place untouched by the hands of time.
We beat all the odds. You know, location, menu size, we've got very limited menu. We're in the middle of nowhere, yet it's busy.
That's Keith Grimes. He and his wife, Kim, they've been running Pickity Place for more than 20 years now. And now Pickity Place, it's part landmark, it's part garden, it's part gift shop, but the restaurant itself is inspired by the land.
We started doing this way back in 1976 before it was a thing, this farm to table. We also call it seed to table because obviously we don't raise cattle or anything like that. But all of the herbs that you see on your plates and in the food is actually grown right on the property.
People come, they go right to the gardens before they have their lunch, and we have a culinary garden where we pick all of our herbs. We have a kitchen garden. We have themed gardens like a silver garden, a butterfly garden. It's just a really fun way to get everybody involved in herbs.
Pickity Place has so much history built into the property itself, including right behind me is what was a living tree. It was over 170 years old, and it was the oldest white ash in the entire nation. Well, they saved it. December of 2020 came around and it took down part of the tree that crashed on part of the greenhouse dining section, but they saved the base of the tree itself. It's hand carved right down to the roots, finishes up with the beautiful owls on top.
One of the main features of the property is the cottage itself. Built back in 1786, it's a landmark here in Mason, New Hampshire, and back in the 1940s, it caught the eye of Walt Disney.
Disney approached Elizabeth Norton-Jones, whose friend lived here, to illustrate the Golden Book classic Little Red Riding Hood.
But this is the illustration
Exactly.
of the house,
of
of the
house
cottage for the book.
In this book, which is now a collector's edition in the state of New Hampshire.
You can come up here to Mason, New Hampshire and experience it for yourself firsthand.
Exactly. Enjoy the food, peruse the gardens, enjoy the gift shops, and we have a greenhouse where you can pick up the herbs that garnish your plate.
Feel like the rest of the world is just away from
Exactly. It's a day in the country.
you. But even some of your walkways, you have the original stone, like steps and walkways outside.
And floors in this particular room, the huge wide pine floors that you can't find anymore.
As for the food, well, that's as unique as the property itself. They have multiple dining rooms, but they only offer 3 seatings a day.
Your menu, it's not seasonal. It's monthly, really. You change it every 30 days.
You know, sometimes somebody will say to me, well, don't you get sick of cooking the same things for 30 days straight? And honestly, no. By the time we get it figured out, I'm thinking about the next menu.
And you have different seatings, because I noticed as soon as the 11:30 seating opened up, there was a line right at the door, and they ring the dinner bell, and everybody heads on into the house.
Yeah, we do it that way to keep it organized, and everybody gets an allotted time to eat. It's plenty of time. It's like having 3 banquets daily.
What's in front of me here?
That is a butternut and roasted cauliflower manicotti with a basil veloute.
Wow. So nothing simple. And what's this wonderful sauce that you have right here that
That's the actual basil and arugula veloute.
it melts in your mouth? I mean, this is amazing. It's so tender. I've never experienced anything like this. And of course, the broccoli rabe, right?
It's a nice contrast to the creaminess and the sweetness of the cheeses to get a little bite of the broccoli rabe.
What do you have in front of you?
This here is the chicken marengo
I'm going to try that, right?
with crispy rice cakes.
Oh, wow. The flavor. Describe that. I could taste a little bit of the onions in there.
Yeah.
But again, the sauce on top of that.
It's a classic dish. It's called an airplane cut, which is a little bit of the wing and a little breast. And we roast that for 3 hours, grill it and roast it. And then the sauce is almost 3 sauces in one. We've got a demi-glace, we've got a chicken stock, we've got a beef stock, and tomatoes.
The edible flour on top, but you also have the fresh cut thyme.
Yeah.
That you could really, you bring it up to your nose, you smell that freshness from the thyme.
Yeah.
So what about for desserts?
Every 30 days we change everything. It's a Heath Bar Crunch a la mode.
You had me at Heath Bar Crunch. Now a la mode too, so all that goodness just is gonna flow on onto the plate, right?
Yeah.
If you haven't been to Pickity Place, I urge you any time of the year to come on down here because Christmas time, I'm sure the holidays are just spectacular here. And then of course the spring, the summer, the fall. There's no finer place than to come to Mason, New Hampshire. Yeah, the road's gonna end. You're gonna come up that last mile on a dirt road. But when you're here, all is right with the world.
So isn't it time that you head out to the country and enjoy life the way it ought to be? Pickity Place is open year-round, and it's located in Mason, New Hampshire.